Hi, Healing Cave Lady here, and this is a long overdue review on Dr. Natasha Campbell McBride's Gut and Psychology Syndrome, otherwise known as the GAPS diet. And this is that diet that when you hear the name, you say, I hope I never have to do that because it looks like so much work, and it is. So I wanted to talk about this book quickly because I actually had done it for years with my children and myself. And a lot of people think they can pick up this book and that they are ready to go. And I have to tell you, you are wrong, because the protocol that is written in this book is very hard to follow. The recipes are very bad, but the content on why you need the diet, the content about fats, the content about pregnant women, the content about the inner workings of the gut and what causes the problems, and why you need to eat this certain lifestyle is invaluable. It is written incredibly well. A lot of people, I guess, are going to assume, like, if I get this book, I'm going to be ready to go. And I'm telling you that that's not going to be the case, but you still need this book. Because if you don't have reinforcement on why you're doing something, you're not going to do it, especially if it is hard. So what I would absolutely recommend is get this book, read about what you're doing, why you're doing it, read about the fats, especially, it's like one of my favorite chapters. Constipation and fats are probably my favorite because I've used them the most. So constipation, like ways to alleviate it, the GAPS way, enemas are involved, reading about fats and the fats that are good for you and why they're good for you, because it's against everything you've ever learned, but it is so true and it works and it's fantastic. Also, the approved food lists, of course, you can get that anywhere online, but it is in here, as well as the introduction phase and the other phases of the diet. But what I'm telling you, based on what I have learned, the big problem with this book is that they introduce dairy very quickly in the diet. And I have to tell you that my own children, or my son at least, could not tolerate dairy for a year into this diet. So if you think you can introduce it in week 2 or 3, phase 2 or 3, like she says in this book, and you have been sensitive to dairy and you have dairy on your sensitivities list is very high, I would absolutely not do that. It could cause a huge problem in your healing process. And a lot of people do that because that's what she says. Even if it's raw milk dairy with the best bacteria culture, I'll tell you that some people cannot handle dairy for a year. And I hate to be the one to tell you, but that could really cause a big problem in you getting well, thinking that you're got this wonderful A2 cow raw milk and you're going to ferment it and it's going to be fantastic and it's going to be so healing, and it's not. And the other thing is the biocults. I have to tell you, she recommends this in her book, and I have to say it is the other big, huge problem in healing people that have really severe intestinal issues. That biocult is strong and it causes some crazy die-off that makes people think they are not getting better. So I definitely would stick with the lacto bacteria-based, like culturelle type probiotics for the diet. And I'm trying to think of the other thing. Oh, Saccharomyces boulardii. If you have issues with candida, like my son did, he had PANDAS, pediatric neurological disorder associated with strep. He had a really bad strep infection that made him cuckoo, put him on the spectrum. When you are introducing yeast-based bacteria, they can cause a child especially to be aggressive, moody, and have lots of issues that's going to look like they're not healing. So no biocult, no Saccharomyces boulardii. Stay away from kombucha if you also had really bad strep or yeast issues. I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you what the problems that I had with this book were. So I just want you to be forewarned so you can get it and know what your expectations are going to be. And maybe some people, I've worked with a ton of families with this diet. And those were the big, huge problems. I'm like, no biocult, no Saccharomyces boulardii, no kombucha. Those things, definitely the yeast-based, definitely tend to be a problem. So I wanted to mention those things because I think that those things tended to be a problem with this book. And I wanted to let you know that you need to own it. but you also need to get yourself some really good cookbooks so that you can be successful, so you don't think you're starving and that all food is bad when you're on the GAPS diet, because it's absolutely not true. Nom Nom Paleo has a fantastic book called Nom Nom Paleo Food for Humans. You can pull recipes out of that book depending where you are on the diet. There are other cookbooks that are highly rated on Amazon. I suggest you go through, read the ones that have the best reviews, and get a really good cookbook that's going to support you through this diet. But definitely, depending on your issues, start with the full GAPS diet and then do the introduction diet later. Unless you are so severely sick and you have just severe colitis, or maybe you just got off some kind of cancer treatment and you have horrible constipation, then yes, start with the intro. But you can tailor things to, you don't have to follow this diet perfectly to see fantastic results. If you're adding bone broth to your regimen every single day, you're going to see results. So just remember, you don't have to go cold turkey into this diet. There are a lot of things that you can do that you'll learn about in this book that are going to help even whatever diet. Maybe you're just on a paleo diet and you need a boost. So maybe you will learn something in this book that's going to help you with that. Or maybe you're just pregnant and you want to have a healthy pregnancy to make sure that you have a healthy child. This is a fantastic book for that. So this is a book that definitely I feel like anybody should read, even if they don't have any health issues, to know the inner workings of the gut, to know healthy fats for your body, to know how to alleviate constipation naturally. Things like that are definitely going to be in here, and they are fantastic. And she has written this book very well when it comes to the information about the gut, how it works, and how to keep it healthy. So I definitely suggest that you get this book. You can always get it at the library first if you want to check it out first. Usually they're checked out, but you might wait. But it's definitely an owner. I mean, look at mine. It has been read probably 40 or 50 times. I won't even loan it out because I don't want to be without it. So, and this is years later. So definitely a great investment, a great book. Be forewarned about the little warnings that I gave you about the dairy introduction, the bio-cult, and the Saccharomyces boulardii. Other than that, you can start on the full GAPS diet and work your way into the intro phase later. You can start on the intro phase. You can jump around, do what you need to do. Listen to your body. If something makes you not feel good, back off of it. So I hope that's helpful. That's my review on this book. I'm definitely going to give it between 4 and 5 stars because it is fantastic. But get yourself a cookbook. Tons of website, Wellness Mama, my www.gapsblog.com has tons of recipes, and you just make sure there are GAPS if you are on the GAPS diet, because it is a paleo GAPS website. But thank you for watching my video review, and please subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.